How's the conference been? Well, other than you're okay? Other than ankle, was it your ankle that you hurt?
Hurt my groin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was painful.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I was thinking about 15-minute line. No, because that's about 2 blocks as it is here.
Yeah,
So I'm like, that's a lot of walking, late at night.
yeah.
So I had to be concerned.
No, understand.
But I'm probably going to get anything eats. That's a lot closer.
Yeah, it is closer, a little earlier as well. So probably walk over as a group and do that. Tonight?
A little out.
9?
I heard 7.
7? Okay.
So Dana said. Oh, yeah.
Sounds good. Are those with those? I don't think that was just for spasmodics. I think.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Oh.
I
think you're-
Alliance.
6 to 10? Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Not close.
Not close? Oh, great.
Yeah.
It's just scooter. Yeah. I think I
How's it going? Good. Good.
Just you? Hey, man.
Good. Nice to meet you. Hi, Jeff. Nice to meet you. You know Gail. I think the Bear guys left these in all the conference rooms.
Yeah. The bear.
The Bear.
Carla texted me, she's missing all the fun.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Thomas. Yeah, she's making flyers today.
Yeah. Computer shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Little shop looks pretty good. Little shop looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'll bet. Just like real.
Just, still got to see the screen.
You got it right here. Glasses. Actually, they'll be on here.
Did Steve give me any idea when the slides are gonna be available?
He has not. I have not heard that. Good question.
Usually a couple weeks after, right?
I think so. But again, everything is supposedly being uploaded prior to, so maybe a little quicker this year. So,
Oh, yeah?
yeah.
3 in a row in the same room.
Yeah.
This is the 4-hour version of management best practice, right?
No, the 8.
8 hours.
Yes, we'll be here until dinner, till bar time. So.
Good.
Can't wait to mess with that.
You don't have a backpack with it.
No, not right now. Yeah,
That's a good idea.
I'm just walking through the halls. Michael. The other half of that is in Carl's backpack.
Oh, great. What is it? So the main boot?
Yeah, so we'll get him later when he's walking around.
Do you know that's where?
No,
Okay.
no.
Yeah.
Huh? It's 1 o'clock. Should we get going? All right. Appreciate you joining. Yeah, you want to close it? Thank you, Marty. Appreciate you joining us. My name is Jeff Deal, and this is Sean Hardy. We work with Think Environmental, and today we're going to talk about some turnaround best practices with your LDAR program. Again, it's just some of the stuff that we try to do when we're involved with a turnaround. So it's just, again, hopefully an opportunity to discuss. And so if you have ideas or comments on some of the things that we present, we'd love to hear it and talk about it. So we're going to talk about planning, safety, pre-turnaround, and then during the turnaround, and then also talk about post-turnaround. So different aspects of each of these phases of a turnaround. So in the planning phase, some of the considerations would be your staffing. So pre-turnaround, do you need to bring in extra monitoring technicians to help with completing all of the monitoring that needs to get done pre-shutdown? During the turnaround, right? Do you need more technicians to help with MOCs? Do you need less staffing because there's less monitoring? So again, just kind of looking at the situation and determining what some of the staffing considerations are during turnaround. Are you having, do you need staffing in 24 hours for during a turnaround? Post turnaround, again, typically there's going to be extra monitoring due to the turnaround. So again, do you need to have your contractor bring in extra help to complete monitoring that needs to get done within the 15 days of the shutdown? From a budgeting standpoint, what portion of the budget's going to go towards LDAR? What portion of the budget's going to go towards turnaround? I know a lot of clients prefer to allocate as much of that budget to the turnaround so it doesn't affect their LDAR budget. So again, that's just one of the considerations on, you know, where that money is going to get spent. And then lastly, on the planning side, the implications of the turnaround. So is anything that you're doing during the turnaround going to, you know, trigger a potential regulation change due to your capital expenditure? So any thoughts or comments on any of this? Anything to add?
So
Steve, I know you always got something.
real quick on the budgeting, we have, there's no maintenance managers in here, right? Okay, good. If you have a unit that potentially needs a reinventory, sometimes during a turnaround is a good time to get it budgeted towards the turnaround budget.
Comments, questions, disagree? All good?
When you say re-inventory, you mean like re-tagging components?
Correct.
Yes.
That is a brilliant idea.
On the safety side, you know, there's a lot of considerations as well, right? You've got the overall chaos of a turnaround, got all kinds of additional people, all kinds of additional contractor staff, and very typically you'll have extra LDAR contractor staff as well. A lot of these additional employees are not familiar with the plant, not familiar with the unit possibly that they're working in. So again, it just you know, adds an additional level of safety concerns. And then also safety considerations post turnaround with the startup. So we'll kind of mention that here in a couple minutes, but you know, there's always that consideration upon startup, right, with potential significant leaks. So just something to think about in advance. Any questions or comments on the safety considerations? Got anything on there?
No.
Okay. So pre-turnaround, you know, we typically will focus on the completion of routine LDAR monitoring, you know, certainly everything that needs to get done in that month, you know, prior to shutdown. And then prioritizing, you know, after you've got all your monthlies done, getting your quarterly components in those affected areas, in the units that are going to be affected by the shutdown and the turnaround. MOC management, we like to get ahead of MOCs as much as possible, get those MOC packets in, start working on them well in advance of the shutdown. And then also inclusion of LDAR components in the turnaround. So this is an opportunity, right? When the unit shuts down, you go take care of that list of DORs that have been waiting for that shutdown, and also possibly repeat leakers, chronic leakers. It's a good opportunity to address those components during that scheduled shutdown. Comments, questions? Okay, so during the turnaround, you know, the focus of the LDAR technician. So again, this is a good opportunity to get ahead of monitoring in units that are not affected by the turnaround. So maybe it's, you know, reworking the schedule and taking care of monitoring elsewhere so that when the unit starts back up, that you're ahead of schedule in other units, and you can focus on the unit that had been shut down. MOCs, right? So you've got especially your more experienced technicians dealing with MOCs. You know, and it's a good opportunity also possibly for training some of the technicians that don't do MOCs. New equipment, what's that? DTMs as well, right? New equipment with no MOCs, so maybe replacement in kinds. So again, just an opportunity for the technicians to stay busy, focus on work that would otherwise not get done, you know, not be prioritized if they, you know, were just doing the typical monitoring in that unit. Lay down yard. So going out looking for LDAR tags and components that had been removed previously. So it's a good opportunity to go out and just, you know, look for those LDAR tags on equipment so that, you know, we can replace those tags. You have anything to And on that one, I know that's one of your big,
Yeah, since we don't get MOCs with replacement in kind, a lot of that equipment is at the laydown yard. So a lot of times you can, use those tags and makes it easier to find.
and then that's a good opportunity again, if you can repurpose your technicians to help in other areas. So whether it's MSS support, fire watch, hole watch, open-ended lines. So again, there's always work that can be completed by your LDAR technicians if there's not enough monitoring to keep them busy. Any thoughts on that? Any questions?
Do you have a suggestion for how to handle the tax so that it don't end up on the way down?
Sweep the unit.
What's that?
Fred, sweep the units. Yeah, because again, with replacement in kind, you're not gonna have MLCs, right? So those can easily fall behind. And in a lot of cases, you're gonna have a 15 or 30 days after startup to get stuff monitored, right? So.
Any other responses to that question? Anyone have any other best practices for that?
You're saying is having techs go out and help them find OEOs?
Yeah, as something, again, yes, right. Because a lot of it's not a priority for some plants, right? And others it is. But it's just something, again, for the technicians to do while there's not monitoring that needs to get done. Keep them busy and then, just use them for something other than monitoring for a short period. So again, during the turnaround, so 24-hour staffing, right? Is that something that you require? You have carbon canisters, bin totes, vacuum trucks that need to be monitored during the turnaround. Temporary equipment, right? A lot of times, compressors are portable compressors are brought in. Got hoses that need to be monitored in addition to your regular equipment. Is that stuff that needs to be added to the LDAR program during the turnaround, or is that going to be something that it's less than 300 hours, so it does not need to be added to the program? And then post turnaround. So one of the things that is a very strong recommendation on our part is on startup is to have an IR camera. Do a quick sweep. From a safety standpoint, it really makes a big difference in being able to find the significant leaks. We often call them, we refer to them as man killers, right? So it's very dangerous. So it's just a best practice that we highly recommend in doing upon startup. And then post turnaround, right, you're going to have a lot of monitoring that needs to be caught up on. So hopefully you got all of the monthlies that were due from the prior month, or I'm sorry, pre-turnaround, but you're likely going to have a lot of monthly components that need to get done within the month of startup. So do you need to bring in extra technicians to help with that monitoring? And again, a lot of that monitoring is 15 or 30 days to get done. So in addition to your standard monitoring, you've got a lot of additional components that need to get done, newly added or what do you call it? Newly added components or rework components that need to get done within a 15 or 30-day window. And then use your experienced LDAR technicians to identify new equipment that, again, there's no MOCs. So again, the replacement in kinds and OELs. So again, just work that needs to get done post turnaround. And again, that's just one of the focus areas that we recommend as a best practice. Gordon, perfect timing, man. So it was a short presentation. Well, my friend from Chevron in California may ask me to do it again anyway. So,
No, I'm good the whole time.
so So that's really about all we've got. So is there any, questions or comments on some of the best practices? Do you have other best practices that, that you would suggest or that we're missing? Yes, sir.
So, a bit more about the chronic leakers, how, what is, like, how do you track that? What's the, like?
Just in general, defer to you on that one.
Sure, they're tracking the database. All your leaks are tracked in the database, and depending on what criteria you want to use. Did it leak, more than twice in a year, 3 times in a year? Because a lot of times you can get a leak, it'll leak, you fix the leak, and then maybe next quarter it leaks again. That's a pretty good telltale sign that you may want to replace that component during the turnaround.
What would be a chronic leaker? I think you just said twice within a quarter year, or twice within the.
It really depends on the criteria that the site wants to use. So we can run those reports, just depending on what criteria the plan itself would consider a chronic leaker.
Typically, the software's built-in reporting will be 2 or more. But, some customers have different requirements, and you just, pull that data outside.
So just out of curiosity, like Steve, do you have a criteria what you would consider to be a chronic leaker? I'm sorry.
You guys actually, so you'll actually use smart scores.
Okay.
As accurate as anything that I'm trying to come up with. So
Interesting.
What's most score indicates chronic leaker?
Bigger the number, right?
Yeah, figure the numbers out.
Do you have like a cutoff though, like if it's double this number, we're gonna replace it, the next one we want to put that? It's in my consent decree, I have to, if it leaks more than twice, over 10,000
right.
ppm calendar year, I have to.
Right.
And the repeat leaker report, I think that's the criteria that you use.
Yeah, that's common. Yeah.
Smart score, though, that's.
I don't know, God, where the other stuff,
Yeah.
but it's kind of easy to come up with.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure.
Gail, is that something you track, chronic leakers?
Not something I usually track. We have a pretty good leak history,
Mm-hmm.
well under across the site in each plant. So, and we keep very low DOR numbers. So it's not been a big issue.
Right. How about you, Gordon?
Yeah, that's laid out in our consent decree. If it's over 5,000 more than once, and per rolling month period, then.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's a good song, at least. Does that help a little bit?
Yeah, we don't currently track our chronic leakers.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I started doing just like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
We're not under a CD.
Right.
I do a lot of things just best practice.
Yep.
And I'm just trying to figure out what everybody else is doing.
Right.
And it's a good way to keep your DORs down, because you may only go down every 3 years or so, right? If you've got a bunch of chronic leakers and you don't address them during your turnaround, by your next 3-year turnaround, you're likely to have quite a few DORs.
Yeah, emissions reporting too. Have a clear sense of what's causing your emissions issue.
I'm curious about the consent decree. If you have a chronic leaker, the required you're going to shut down to replace that component, is it allowed to put on DOR?
Probably not in California.
Definitely not in California.
Used to.
It's a DOR, not a chronic leaker. That's
Okay. Why do you say that on your consent decree though?
so mine has a chronic leaker required. But it's only a chronic leaker if it's fixed and then leaks, if it's fixed. If it continues to leak,
We just look at it as the DOR.
Okay.
If we didn't fix the leak, and it stayed on the DOR list until it's out. Chronic leakers wait for replacement to the out, until the outage as well, if they're required outage. But typically, they're like, for us, it's mostly water valves that we can repack and re-grease and get the stop leaking for a month or two, and then they start leaking. So they're typically not open leaks. They're on the chronic leakers, for me.
Okay. And we're not under consent decree, but I was curious.
Mhm.
I have not seen any consent decrees out, outside of California that would not allow a DOR. If it meets the criteria, of course.
Mhm. Any other questions, comments?
I know all MOC, how people handle MOCs is different, site to site.
It is.
How you leading up to the turnaround.
Mhm.
Do you have any tips or tricks that you would suggest to make sure that we're included in the MOC process as much as possible?
It's a great question.
Yeah, right.
And you'll be the publishers.
I like your idea. No, that's some of the challenges that we face is that there's MOC packets sitting on somebody's desk, but environmental and the LDAR contractor is not included in that process. And it creates a mess post turnaround, trying to make sure that we don't miss anything.
Yeah, so only as early as possible, but I know that's,
Right.
that's a challenge.
The key is just the communication and make sure the environmental department and your LDAR department is included in that process. I'd rather have an MOC for 6 months before it actually gets put in, and then we go and check on it every month. And then in that way, when it does finally go into service, we're covered. But if we never get the MOC, you're likely gonna have some issues.
On our site, we have an environmental checklist for every MOC. So it has to be reviewed by an environmental professional.
And those programs work really well for us.
I was gonna say, I think it's culture, right?
Yeah, a lot of it is. Yeah, those have been our most successful ones is where they, there is that level of detail and that level of involvement. So, yes, sir.
Yeah, we have something similar to checklist, and in that checklist, it goes through all the departments, even IMs. And there's a detect item worldwide. Once they check off those boxes, it goes to the specific person to let them know that this MOCA is in place. You have any concern with blah, and they'll sign off on it and it moves forward. And then once the MOCA is actually completed in the field, not closed until individuals like the LDOR people have had an opportunity to tag it or, move from the database or whatever. And we, like I said, it's not closed until that sign off. And what happens is everybody's name on that MOCA continues to get an email constantly until it's closed. So
Yeah.
it works because it gets people moving.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to get an email. Same thing.
Right. Yeah.
No, that's perfect. And if you have your LDAR contractor signing off as, okay, now this is complete.
I
And,
sign off on it.
okay, so now it's completed the cycle.
I'll sign off on it, but so I'm getting email, so I'm on them to say, hey, look, you still get this email.
Yeah.
Some feedback and tag. And
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think that's, real helpful, right? Yeah. Yep. Any other questions? Any other topics good discussion in the room? A lot of people, yes?
Still just curious on the smart board.
Smart score. Yeah, but LeakNOS will basically score a component based on its inspection history.
It's a software company.
Yeah, it's like the industry standard
Is it like an algorithm?
algorithm.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm not entirely sure how it works. They're here, Shannon and Chris Tucker are here. I think it's basically just, it corresponds with the leak history. The higher the values that they record, that higher the score.
So would it replace like guideware or?
It's just, they're competing products.
So yeah, and Steve, I think you were saying you're not sure if Guideware has it, so it's definitely in leak DOS. Is anyone using Guideware that is?
Yeah.
That's what you're about to,
proprietary.
okay, so it's pretty much, yeah,
Guideware has the ability to run the same report though, and
Right.
a couple clicks and tell you which components that leak.
Right.
Right.
X amount of time. You set the parameter, you can ask it for valves leak more than twice. or
Right.
more than 10 times.
right,
Whatever leak definition you tell.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reporting is definitely.
You can actually take that chronic leak report
Mm.
from Guideware, and then I've done is I'll put it into like pivot table, right? And it shows the footprint that, happened,
hmm
like a pie chart of how the leaks, how my program is impacting. So,
right,
if I have like a specific unit, have just 100 leads, just for numbers. And then now, after the turnaround, what's happening? If they're still up at that level.
Right.
Is it dropping? And actually, I'm required to report that to our upper management.
hmm
Just make the program more than just going out and finding leads. And
right,
fixing them, and going back and finding the same, lead, fixing.
Show the value.
Make.
Yes, very valuable data, yeah,
Like I say, I have to take it out and put it into a pivot table.
Right.
But
you can still get similar data,
I
yeah,
was curious about this
Yeah.
smart score, if it does anything like that.
I think it's just really just different ways to skin a cat, it's just, they're basically taking all of that chronic leaker data and putting it into one number. So you can, I'm assuming you're like sorting by it, right? You can kind of filter out, I want everything greater than that.
I just talked to Guideware, they want to know what smart score is, they know what the competition.
Oh, yeah.
Just talk to them and say, I want something similar, and ask them to write a script.
And they will, man, this guy work guys, they'll do anything. They're very, very open to customizing things for you.
yeah. Anything else? Okay, well, thank you for sitting in and participating. Makes it much more helpful and, get a conversation going like that.
You getting ready to start this one again?
We'll see, you ready? Thanks, guys. Hour and a half hour. Start, oh, no, that's starting, so 26 minutes.
Well, I know, but 20.
Yeah, 30 minutes, that's good.
Hey, no, yeah,
30 minutes live, it's good.
check it out, 20 minutes, more valuable.
Yeah.
Thing. Presentation is 6 minutes, we talk
No,
Monty.
it's not. It was not 6 minutes.
I'm gonna tell
Hey, man.
Monty.
Yeah, you want me to actually email them to you?
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
let me just email to you.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
10 minutes late, they wrapped up.
Was it at 7 minutes?
No, it was much, I think I gave it much longer.
Okay, because that's what we're joking around about. You met Monty, so Monty's got the record, so we had a 45-minute presentation slot at the, it might have been the AFP.
It was the
Oh,
ISA.
Yeah, ISA, we're out in Denver. He had a 45-minute slot and completed his presentation in 6 minutes. He was so nervous about getting up there.
I mean, the slides were full of data,
Yeah.
just.
Just.
Oh, I talked about this already, I talked about this.
Got your thumb drive? Actually, I'll just pop it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, actually, no, it's sitting on there. Yeah, you want to pop it on?
Sure.
You have a USB on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, just pop it right. Yeah, this is a weird, there we go. For me, want to recognize it?
Yeah, 1.5.
I'm gonna say three of those, three of them.
Back to back to back.
No, in 402?
400.
Oh, 400, we're in 402, yeah.
Yeah, look good.
You joining us tonight? You have other plans?
I think I will, yeah, if
Good.
you guys,
Yeah, please.
if you guys will have me.
We will have you. Love that you're joining us. I think I'm still full from last night, though.
That's why I didn't eat breakfast. Lunch was good.
Gee,
A club sandwich, bacon.
anything with bacon is good.
I'm not big on bacon, but yeah.
That was really good bacon.
Make find it on. Yeah, it's a weird USB.
No, there you go.
Yeah, it keeps getting pushed back in. It's one of those.
Oh, yeah, you have to slide it all the way out so it locks.
Yeah. Find it.
I did, yeah.
Okay.
So what's in 400?
A lot of GI stuff,
There's
modification.
there's actually three pretty good classes.
I think the first one is Craig from
Yeah, the
Fleer.
first one's OGI and the.
Latest
they're good, though.
advancements.
You can't read that.
Yeah, I can.
In
Actually, I can.
quantification
Even though the writing's small.
and planning for new OGI monitoring protocols.
Thanks, that was
I
it.
think that's cool.
So we're gonna move next door to 400. You got something for 145? There's a couple of good, I don't know if you have interest in camera stuff, FLIR stuff at all, but there's a couple of good classes over there.
Yeah, 145 is, human-centered EH&S compliance.
Oh, wow.
You guys doing, FLIR camera stuff?
That, we're gonna listen in on that one, yeah, just because, you know, it's definitely something that's gonna affect our markets, so.
Yeah, maybe I'll catch that
The
one.
next one I think sounds good because they're gonna be going over.
Right next
protocols,
door?
like
What
how
did
you're
you
gonna
say?
write protocols.
Yeah,
for
400.
OGI.
Yeah.
Alright.
We'll meet you
That
there.
sounds
Yeah.
good.
What is some protocols for what? Thanks for.
For OGI,
for
like how you would write a protocol that you're gonna do
Oh,
OGI, kind of like what they're trying to do at Exxon.
Yeah, so like the AMOC that
Right.
Derek Reese wrote too. Yeah,
So I think, I don't know, whatever.
yeah, no, I'm
Do I need to
excited.
make my own plans for dinner?
I think we're good. We're gonna
Okay.
probably have 3 or 4 again,
Okay.
clients. Again, if we pick up a couple extras and.
And if not, yeah, I can bail out if you.
No, yeah, that's it. I think last night worked so well because we had 7 of us and 7 of them. And there's a lot of,
Got a lot of interaction.
you were a trip last night, man. I was laughing my ass off at your turtle story.
Oh.
You had us rolling with the turtle story.
I was the last one to sit down, so I was.
That Ryan, that Ryan is really cool.
And he's been very helpful to us to kind of keeping the conversations
Yeah,
going.
he's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's real good.
No, and actually, I was a little cramped, but I was right across from Stan.
Mm.
He had a couple glasses of wine, and he wouldn't shut up.
Oh, really?
He was easy to talk to
Oh,
last
good.
night.
Because I didn't have any idea what was going down on the other end. I saw Robert talking a bit, and I saw you talking a little bit. So Dan was engaged.
Walked by and gave me a fist bump this morning.
Good. That's
I
good.
told him,
Plans on going to go luau? No? I guess.
Where's the Fairmont?
I have no idea.
So,
Is it the actual Fairmont Hotel?
yeah, it's on the roof of the Fairmont, is what I believe I saw. See how far away that is. I'm not opposed to going. I might go for a little bit. Again,
Well, I mean, I left early last night and probably could go without even going.
maybe,
But I'm glad I went.
yeah.
I really, I am.
Is that the Fairmont Hotel?
Fairmont Hotel.
Fairmont, Austin? Yeah, Red River Street.
This is Red River right here. ain't it?
It's a 5-minute
No, it's
walk.
Trinity.
Yeah, it's a 5-minute walk.
From here,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so probably,
but it might be that way.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to see. It does, wait, where? It's in Austin. You're right, it's not, you're right by the Marriott, right? Isn't your hotel,
We're by the Hyatt.
Or the Hamptons.
yeah, so no, isn't it? No, but isn't it right by the Hyatt?
Yes, yeah, we're right next door, right next door. to the
Yeah, we're
Hyatt.
just trying to see. Okay, so it looks like it's right on the backside of this convention center, is what it looks like, but. Oh, wait, is that on the other?
So, yeah, that's a big ass pool.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it's on the roof, so it must be over to the Like, I wonder if it's in that pool area, man. That could be dangerous, jumping in the pool.
I think I'll take a page out of the Mark Shattuck playbook. Shorts.
Go shorts tonight?
Because, let me tell
I'm
you,
definitely go shorts tonight. I was sweating. I took my long sleeve shirt off last night. Couldn't believe it's fucking so.
oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, I took my shirt off. I was like, wow, man.
Yeah, that was,
I had deodorant on.
that was like a shower before bed kind of evening.
Yeah.
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 You were out till, a couple hours later.
Especially, I couldn't have stayed up.
Especially shower before bed.
But yeah, smart. I would like everybody, to be there because I thought it went really well last night having 7-on-7, you know what I mean? It
Okay.
just makes it easier to keep people
No,
talking.
I'm
Jason coming? Yeah.
I don't know. I have to,
Oh,
I'll send emails out again and just ask him.
I think it's gonna be shorts for dinner though. Is this a
Oh.
shorts place?
yeah.
It's more,
Less, yeah, I'm sorry, more casual
More
last night. Yeah.
because, I mean, we had a couple guys.
But
in
look,
shorts.
y'all got
For
to
those.
fit a t-shirt last night, so.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna buy $130 steaks. I don't give a shit what you.
Right.
As long as you get shoes on, right?
There's some places.
Yeah, but this
Alright,
awesome.
cool. 7 o'clock,
6:30.
6:30.
6:30? So here
Why
at
did we do
6.
that? Why did we do
We
6?
did that because last night there was the happy
Oh,
hours before. So, some people just want to get in and get out. Like, they don't want to go to the later stuff,
So we're gonna meet here,
Yes.
6?
Yeah,
5:45?
let's do 6 o'clock. I mean, yeah, if you want to come up early, we'll have a beer, but we plan on lobby at 6 o'clock. Invite,
Even logo up there.
Yeah,
too,
well,
Rick says it.
yep. I'll tell our
You know what you
clients
should
if they
do?
want to walk over.
Flip the screen upside
6
down.
o'clock, we'll send them down.
Flip the screen upside down.
Control alt, or alt control direction.
I'll put it back. Alt control direction.
But you can mess with it.
Like 1, 2, 3, like alt, control. That'd be control alt.
Hang on, let me do Control Alt.
Yeah.
Alt upside down.
And did they change it?
Can you do it in PowerPoint?
It flips the whole thing. Those.
Fucking funny for something come in here and go, what the hell?
Girl trying to,
go to the That's what I was gonna say, but he was gonna say.
Yeah.
He was,
Uh,
Poor girl.
mm,
She'd be flipping a wig.
Yeah. If she's in IT,
Yeah, she'd probably
she'd
go-
probably, yeah,
Whatever.
Yeah, it should be control alt arrow,
like down,
or like, yeah.
Control Alt up.
I wonder if they have it like,
Might have it locked.
Yeah, let me kick out of PowerPoint, just out of curiosity.